we're back. I am Joe.
Now I'm Kokoy.
Together we are
TITOS with Ukuleles.
Okay, so what do we have today?
Well, we've shrunken a little iconic design right over here with the Epiphone Hummingbird.
So this is the uke version of the acoustic guitar, right?
Yes, the very, very popular Hummingbird, which you've seen in a lot of music videos and a lot of musicians use. This is now the shrunken version in tenor size. So they only made it in tenor size, by the way. So they tried to fit as much of the Hummingbird details in this little guy.
Yeah. So I see that they have the pick guard.
Yep, your classic pickguard in tortoise and a little scratching that looks like a hummingbird.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's pretty nice. It's actually pretty detailed. You might not see it in camera because it's very fine. Just imagine shrinking the already fine hummingbird etching from the original one.
Okay, so I also noticed that in terms of the shape, it mimics more of the broad shoulders of the guitar.
Well, yes, actually, this is based on the hummingbird, which is a dreadnought design. So this is a dreadnought. So what you have here is they even kept the nice open book shape of the headstock for Gibson. This is the Epiphone version, of course. So this is more or less the newer models because with the new line, which somehow came out after 2019 and all, Epiphone has adapted the Gibson headstock a little bit.
Yeah. Another thing to note is because it does it imitates the actual guitar. I don't know if it's needed, but there's a cover for a truss rod.
Yes, I'm sure there is a truss rod in there, but I don't want to open it up. But do you really need a truss rod on a little small instrument like this? Now, of course, you don't expect it to really move much during age, but just in case, I'm sure they have somewhere there. This is, of course, part of their ukulele series, which is concentrated on the Les Paul. So this is the acoustic version. I'm sure that they only have two ukuleles, the Les Paul and the acoustic, and they only have the Hummingbird in faded cherry, which is the classic, as well as the regular sunburst. They did keep your Epiphone Gibson parallelogram or double dash because it's slanted, it's kind of parallelogram, so that's what they call it, on a granadillo fretboard. That's a weird material.
What about the body?
Well, the body is spruce and mahogany sides and back, so the top is solid spruce. That's one good thing, it's solid Sitka, but also the bridge is the same, granadillo. Now again, granadillo is some wood that you probably don't hear about, right? Which brings us to the point that sometimes you don't have to, rely too much on the flyer material. When it doesn't say rosewood, you snob it. No, it depends on what material is available as well as the price point, which brings it to about a $200 price point.
Okay. Now, few things. Number one, it's a no-tie bridge,
which is also common on what they used on the Les Paul version.
You told me that the saddle and the nut are tusk.
Similar to tusk. They're definitely synthetic. They're called Urite.
Urite. Okay.
And I'm wrong. Yeah, so Urite is a ukulele, probably U for ukulele or something, but it's definitely the house brand of the Gibson and Epiphone.
Now, this one has a passive pickup.
Yep, it adapted it from the Les Paul. It has a passive under saddle pickup. We will have the sound sample tested, and you will hear that it's kind of similar, but a little bit better than the Les Paul version. So let's move up to that sound sample before discussing more details. All right, let's move it up. Let's rock on.
Hey, we're back.
Yes,
Okay.
we didn't do any fancy comeback because this is a very classic. It's gonna be shameful to make fun of this little guy.
Okay, now a few things happened off camera. Number one, I messed up the sound sample a lot of times. Sorry about that, Koy.
No, that's because this comes with, I assume, the original cheap strings. So it's maybe some factory strings of Gibson, which is in a way too tight for us. So,
Yeah.
you are forgivable.
These are very tight strings.
It feels really high tension.
Also, during the sound sample, we plugged this into an amp, and the sound was soft. So my first instinct was to reach into the sound hole and adjust the volume. And
Yeah,
then I
there's no
remembered,
volume.
oh yeah, it's passive.
That means that if you ever have one of these, don't expect to get a very loud sound unless you have a pedal. Oh, that's one. Acoustic pedal is definitely a must. Second is that your amplifier must be at least a little bit good. You can put this on a portable amp, but don't expect much because it is passive. And I think I've noticed also that the sound, when it's tested acoustically, sounds a little weak or choked.
Yeah.
I feel that Gibson makes it more for a plugged-in experience. So I feel that the wood is a little bit thick. Maybe the solid spruce is thicker. Thicker. Maybe the same solid spruce material that you'd find on the Epiphone Big Brother version. So it is feeling a little. Well, it does feel a little good because of all the double binding, double cream binding, the mahogany back and sides, and this neck that we're also probably mahogany.
Yeah, well, the cap and the heel, it's a nice accent. But in terms of sound, okay, so it's soft. How soft? For all of you there with a Kala arch top, that's a soft ukulele on its own, and that's already
Yes.
louder than this. Okay, so it's softer than.
Well, of
Kala
course,
arch
that's
top.
that's a $350 ukulele. This is below $200. Honestly, it's like a 180, but if you add the taxes or whatever, you'll reach about 200.
Yeah. Also, in terms of the sound, yeah, you're gonna want to change the strings. right
Yes, you
away.
gotta change the strings.
Now, when you get this, it does come with a gig bag.
Yes, a gig bag. Where's the gig bag? Oh, hold on, off camera. All right, here's the gig bag. Sorry, guys. This is the gig bag. It is like a little padding, probably about 5 to 10 millimeters of padding there. But yeah, it's good enough. It has a nice pocket for your extra strings, which you probably need because you need to change them.
Okay, now,
So this is a bonus. In a
in
way.
case you want to spend extra and buy a third-party hard case for this, we discovered something earlier about this.
Doesn't fit in some standard hard cases with padding.
Yes, because of the
Because of the
shoulder.
dreadnought
Yeah.
shape. Now, not a lot of ukuleles are dreadnought shape. If you notice, they're more rounded. So this is broad body dreadnought. So yeah, it had a hard time fitting in the Glary case, which is the Amazon one.
yeah. So if you're gonna buy a case, please
Make sure
make sure it fits. Don't rely on online measurements.
Yes.
If you can, go to a brick and mortar store and fit it in there, see if it fits, okay?
Yeah, but with a $200 ukulele, just use a padded case, a thicker padded case. So one thing that I noticed is that I don't know how they try to do an economy on this, but the nut seems to be as thin as the
Saddle.
saddle. So maybe they just kind of cut costs by using that. Also, maybe because they put a truss rod cover, which takes up a lot of space. So look, see, it's actually thin.
Yeah, okay. So,
Yeah, it's very thin.
So folks,
You're not gonna see it, but it's very thin.
so as close as I can. I'm stretching. Okay.
It's also made in China, right here. Yeah. With open tuners that are supposed to mimic anything like, like Grover's, but not.
Oh, let's show it off.
Yeah, it's just a plain open tuner with a metal knob.
Yeah. Okay. Now.
For the big fans of the Hummingbird, this is perfect. They don't usually pop up as often, okay? So when you see them online, you grab one if you want this design. And keep in mind that once you use this one, we really do suggest that you use it with an amp because you'd have a nice practicing sound, but of course, definitely, again, you're comparing this to a $350 ukulele like a Kala, that is a little bit better, louder sound.
Louder.
This is a bit choked because maybe it has thicker to compensate for the piezo pickup. Because when you're playing with a piezo pickup and you have thin bodies, going to have a body echo too loudly.
Yeah. Now, one thing I noticed about this is most of my ukes, they have fret marks and side dots that start at the 5th fret. This one starts at the 3rd, especially for the side dot.
Yes, but that gets confusing because it's using the standard Gibson that starts at 1.
Yeah.
So one thing, of course, is if you're a Gibson user, definitely this matches. It's something like, oh, this is just the ukulele. The other one is back there.
Yeah. Now, I have no complaints regarding the workmanship and
It is
finish.
fine and
Yeah.
glossy, super glossy. It's actually nice. You feel it's robust. You feel that it was more than $200.
Okay, now folks, once again, we'd like to remind everyone, the ukuleles that we feature here, they belong to our respective collections. No one's paying us to do this. We spend on the ukes that we show off. So these are honest opinions. Also, we need your likes and we need your subs just to keep us going.
Okay, so with that, we present you with the Hummingbird. Okay, I wonder when they'll make the Dove. That's another, or the Jumbo. I would love to see a Jumbo. You know what a Jumbo is? Well, a Jumbo is the other classic Epiphone
Shape.
Gibson, which has a very oval or orchestral, Jumbo. It's very big. So if this is this thick, a Jumbo ukulele would have been this thick, and that would have been a nice thing. They should have one.
I can see that now. It's going to be like a tenor scale, but with a baritone-sized body.
I would love to see that one. So until then, Gibson, if you're listening, bring us some Jumbos.